Well, welcome back to the Lucid SMP. My name is Sam or Erfaren, and today I learned that Fresh Animations doesn't like it when a bird sits on your shoulder. What is going on? That is insane. Disregarding this for a second, last time we ended the episode by bringing ourselves all the way back to the portal, which is right in front of me, because we found out that where we had run to all the way over there actually was part of somebody's base. So we sent a message over to Jazz, who owns the server, and they let us know about a portal all the way at the end of the east pathway in the nether that will take us to the new 1.21.5 chunks. So today we are going to head there and get ourselves set up with a little starter base. However, before we get there, last time Jazz clued us in on a welcome gift that would be waiting for us at the post office. So before we get started, we are gonna walk our way all the way back to the main community center so that we can check and see what our welcome gift is. While we continue our way through the nether, I've now turned off Fresh Animations just for now, so that we stop having a silly little parrot flying above our heads. But we are working our way back to the main nether hub. It is going to be a little ways because we really walked off, but I think we're seeing the edge of it now. So let's get ourselves over to the community center. We'll check in on the post office and maybe just do a little look around to see if anything else has changed over there. I am really excited about this area. We've been tasked, Zen and I, with coming up with a design for this area. To see how we want to expand it and do things. So that's something that we're working on in the background that I am really excited about. It'll probably come in time, but I'm excited to see where we take it because all the other entries have a very nice put together kind of welcoming area, except for that. So I'm excited to try and put something together. Well, we are finally back to the community center. Let's go ahead and check in here on the post office. We have a welcome to the Lucid SMP box. Holy buckets. Wow. That is a lot of stuff. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you for this gift. Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, first, I guess we should probably put together our shulker boxes, right? Just so we have some additional storage for some of our random stuff. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting to have all of this. Let's go ahead and put like our food and kind of miscellaneous things that we collected in here. Also, fun fact, if you scroll through a bundle, because I just found this out, it opens all of the contents of the bundle. So if you didn't know that, all you have to do is scroll. Fun fact. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the rest of our food and things in there, and then we'll do miscellaneous building blocks and stones and things in here. Wow. And we get an ender chest. This is incredible. I thank you so much. Wow. We'll go ahead and throw that in our inventory too, because that'll be nice. Let's also, we don't have soak touch, so it does not make sense to take out the ender chest yet. But we can at least pick this one up, pick these two up, and then let's take a look at the 1.21.5 Explore box, which comes with even more golden carrots, yet another ender chest, a ton of fireworks, and a bed. Oh my goodness. Wow. I am glad we came back and checked this. Seriously, thank you. Thank you so much, Jazz. That is such a nice gift. Well, I don't want to, like, you know, be too ahead with our emeralds, but I kind of feel like maybe we should go and trade with some of the villagers and see what we can get for items. I feel like I mean, that's like the best thing that we can do with these emeralds, right? Is just go trade and see what we can get. So we look for the emeralds over there. That is the trading hall. Let's just run over here and trade up for some gear. So we'll start with, I mean, probably any of the blacksmiths. Okay, do we know? So you've got efficiency 2 on breaking 1. You have efficiency 3 on breaking 3. Okay, that one's a really good one. You've got sharpness 2. You've got protection 2 pretty much on everything. These guys have such funny names. Wow. Anybody else? I think those are These are the ones. Okay. Well, I suppose let's buy this efficiency 3 on breaking 3 pickaxe, right? And just take this from you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, we've got that. Wow. Okay. And then let's also grab here. Let's just take all of our emeralds. I'm sure we're going to need them. Let's also go ahead and grab, well, let's see. What else do you have? You have unbreaking 1. You have unbreaking 2. So we are going to also take 1 from you here and 1 from you here. Wonderful. Thank you. You had sharpness 2, unbreaking 2. We already have unbreaking 2. But I will take a sharpness 2 sword. And honestly, I might buy another one from you, but I'll check the librarians first. And finally, you, sir, I will take all of it. I'll take 1 of each, please. I mean, it's nothing special, but like, we've got armor now. Like, look at us. We're decked out now. That was so easy. Okay. Wow. So we've got this. Now we're still going to go mining for diamonds because we need diamonds to use in the shopping district, but wow. So with all of that handled, we then went ahead and tried to collect as many books as we could for all of our different enchantments. We zombified and cured a bunch of villagers, made a bunch of potions, bought a bunch of books, and did our best to upgrade what we could before we ran out of levels. Wow. Well, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start the long journey down the eastern pathway to find our way all the way to the new 1.21.5 chunks. I am really excited. I know it's really far away and that kind of feels weird, but I actually am really excited to be out there, to have the new decorative blocks and I don't know, so much space. And I'm really excited for you all to see what I have planned, which I've already got the space picked out in my mind. We had a chance to look at this area on the creative server, and I am so excited for what I have in store. So we're going to keep running this way, but I will be right back as soon as we've made it to the new portal, which is like 1,000 blocks this way. Oh, and it looks like Zen has already made it through. Zen, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and use your bed here so that I have a spawn point close to this portal. But here we are. These are the new 1.21.5 chunks, and you can't really tell it from here, but if we do a bit of a zoom in, you can see the leaf litter that is over there, and there's some wildflowers and things all around. So we are really close to where all of these new blocks are. But I think maybe the first thing we can do is get down into the mines and get some blocks and see if we can't start loading up on some things, right? However, I do know where I want to build is quite a ways out here, so maybe we'll go to an island that's at least nearby where I want to build, and that way we're at least a little closer to where we need to be before we start digging down into the earth. Also, again, I kind of feel like somebody's probably been here, but we gotta look, right? So we dove down, we found a couple coast armor trims, a bunch of loot, and actually, we found a buried treasure map. So, of course, we went and chased down the treasure, and I actually used a tip from CopperSkye, who you'll see actually later in this video, that helped me find this treasure faster than I've ever found one before. So props to Skye on that, I really appreciate it. Well, with our treasure in hand, we can now set off to the area that we will be building our base at. Look at this beautiful reef, oh my goodness. Ooh, there's a lot of ruins under us too. Maybe we'll have to come back and get back to our archaeology ways and see what we can find there in the suspicious sand. And as we make our way to this clearing over here in this massive coral reef, this area right here, more particularly, basically right on top of this ruin, is where I plan to build our base for the Lucid SMP. The plan is to build just here in the open, and then obviously we'll have the water around us here, and we'll have the coral reefs everywhere. And then there's a couple of good islands around should we need any place to just get resources and come back to, if we don't want to be digging around here in the water all the time. So I'm really excited about this area, and I hope that little teaser gets you all excited as well. But we are going to turn our attention to this island and get ourselves some much needed resources. And we're already finding a ton of good resources. I've got to say, there is just something so awesome about getting started on a Minecraft world again and mining up your resources for the first time and things. I know we're a little spoiled because we have all of these diamond tools to start with, but it doesn't, at least for me, take away the novelty of, you know, mining our first couple blocks of coal. You know, even last episode with Zen, just doing all of that. There's just something so fun about it all. From here, I went and collected a bunch of different resources. As you can see, copper and coal, kind of keeping our eyes out for other things. I also grabbed a little bit of diorite and andesite because I know we're going to need them for a later build. And then once we had all of those in hand, we turned our attention to the water, where after collecting some iron, I dove down and decided to dig down until I found a cave. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is, oh. Okay, let's be very careful and work our way down here. And try not to set off any sensors. This, oh goodness. I wasn't expecting to run into an ancient city. I hope we have not run into an ancient city right away. Hopefully it's just a deep dark. We'll start with the diamonds and worry less about the other things. Oh my goodness. It's so nice to have our first diamonds, you know? That's exciting. Okay, let's also grab some redstone while we're here. And I did make the realization while we were digging our way down here, we didn't bring any wood. So we're gonna need to pay a little bit of attention to that. I definitely want some of these, so we're gonna see our way to safety over here and mine up some of this amethyst. I think that's all of this I'm gonna mine for now, just so that we can preserve the durability in our other tools, but we will need to remember that this is here so that we can finish mining out the rest of this. Let's get ourselves back out here though and continue the search for diamonds while also with the mission of keeping ourselves alive. Now, if we had torches, it would definitely be smart to light a path to remind us of where to go. Oh my goodness. Right as I was about to start my lament about no torches, look up above us. There is an abandoned mine shaft. Let's get ourselves there. Well, I was gonna say let's go adventure this, but I think maybe we just cut down this weird one that's just standing on its own and take all of the resources from this. So we did climb up and ended up grabbing all the wood, some chains, and a bunch of other things before spending the next hour or so digging for materials. We found a ton of diamonds and redstone, and actually by the end of this, we had 7 full blocks of diamonds. Well, with all of our diamonds now in hand, we are going to make a journey back to the mainland so that we can go to the shopping district and buy a ton of different blocks and tools and things that will help us to get our first build put together. If you see that piece of cobblestone behind me, that's a note to myself reminding me of where we need to come back to later. Because for now, we've got to make the very brief 8,000 block journey back home, which luckily is only 1,000 in the nether. You know, I think in one of these shulker boxes, we actually have a saddle, right? Or am I just imagining that we had a saddle? We do have a saddle. Well, it came from my carrots. Hello. Yes, I was going to actually ask you if you maybe wanted to be my friend so that we had a little bit of an easier way back and forth in the future. I will give you this. And now we are buddies. You're not extraordinarily fast, but you're probably better than just walking, right? Sweet. Okay, well, let's pick these back up. And now we've made it back to the portal. Okay, now for the rest of the journey back to the mainland. We finally made it to the shopping district portal. So let's pop in here. I think the very first thing I want is more shulker boxes. That's kind of a priority to me. So let's go spend some money there before we spend all of our money elsewhere. 5 shulker boxes for 1 diamond. Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. I will take your shulker boxes for 1 diamond. Okay, so we should have 18 new shulker boxes. We've got 9 in our inventory. And then these should add up to another 9, I believe. Well, I guess we'll have 2 extra from the ones we already had. So Yeah, we're looking good. And then we'll grab these. We've got an ender chest already in our inventory, so we'll drop all that. And now we are organized and ready for the rest of our adventures for today. Oh, that's awesome to see. With all of our shulker boxes at the ready, we went around town buying a ton of different building blocks, lights, emeralds, different things that we need for different builds and things here on the server. And then when we were ready, we tried to go buy some elytra, but turns out those are 20 diamonds and I only had 19. So I went to the nether to go collect some quartz and then finally went to the end portal where we store a lot of the resources from our quarry. And I went and grabbed a ton of diorite, andesite, and other building blocks we need. And with that, I believe we have everything that we want, at least to get started with. So let's head all the way back out there to the coral reef so we can get started on our very first house. However, before we could even make it back to our house, we ran into a bunch of our friends and welcomed CopperSkye to the Lucid SMP. So welcome, Skye. We're very glad to have you here. But Skye did ask if we could go find diamonds, to which I said, of course, because I only need one more for my elytra. Yeah, I definitely need to light this place up. Oh, gosh. We're okay. We survived.
The explosion in the background.
Yeah. Oh, another one. I'm just not doing well at beating creepers today, apparently. Oh, yeah, I see you making your final stand on this geode. Yeah. You get chased by a baby zombie and a creeper. Okay, you pick one of them to take. I will try and do the... Oh, you took care of it all. You didn't even need me.
I'm a boss. No, it's the horde of mobs in the corner that I ran from. That
I see. Oh, those ones.
Okay, sometimes fire aspect is not a good idea. Yeah,
There are so many skeletons. Or skeletons, what was I saying? Zombies.
Zombies.
With the zombies out of the way, we both went and found diamonds, reconvened, and then made our way back out of the cave and over to the nether, where we made the long, long journey, wishing we had elytra, until we made it to the shopping district where we could both finally get them. One elytra for 20 diamonds? Sure. Have my money. Boom. You're 20 diamonds richer.
Okay, thank you. Alright, I'm coming to see you. Oh, so fancy. Oh, it's pouring down rain. Look at you guys. Oh.
So excited. Now we can access our...
Oh no. Oh, I was just trying to fly down and hit both of you and then I didn't pull
I
up.
think that's just called karma.
It is karma. No, it is 100% karma.
I could meet you halfway.
I mean, if you want to, you can. You do not have to, though. As Skye so kindly collected all of my items and was willing to go back through the nether to bring them to me, I found a shipwreck to just put together a little thank you gift for bringing everything. I then grabbed all of my things, gave her the gift that I had found, and with that done, we went our separate ways. Well, now that we've made it back to our coral reef, I went ahead and placed down the shulker boxes that we collected, and I believe we have most everything we need to get started on our very first build. So sit back, relax, and enjoy while I get this all put together. And with all of that said and done, we have finally finished our starter base, and I am so happy with it. There's obviously a lot of decorating to do on the inside, but I love all of the little facades here and just the super massive space inside of this. Working our way up, we have views out in every single direction, and I think it's just beautiful. And there's going to be places obviously along each wall for us to hang up things, or, you know, up here to put storage and chests and maybe our bed, so it doesn't have to be all the way on top. And then here in the middle, this is where we're going to have a water elevator that is an option, well, other than flying, to go from the very bottom all the way up to the top. And we'll have a block switcher up in the center to swap out the block and make it so it catches you once you get up there. But with that said, let's take a look at the top, where we have currently our bed and an enchanting table. Now, I do want to do a little bit more texturing of the ground up here. I haven't really decided on what I want to do, because I want it to not be the same kind of dark tones that we did down there. So that's kind of where I'm stuck right now, is figuring out this. If you have any ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear them. But the idea for up here is this is actually going to be the main landing area. So people obviously would fly in here, or they'd come up from the block swapper right here. And then from here, you get to walk around, you can enchant. Over here, we'll have maybe some other storage, or, you know, some other thing to fill this space. And then as this space expands, we'll actually have a bridge slash kind of staircase thing that spans off into another, and then into another, and then into another. So this is really the starting pillar and where you'll get to go to enter our base. And I'm really excited about it. I know right now it kind of feels like it's out of place in a way, because it's the only thing standing here. But I really, really like how it turned out. And I'm really excited to have this copper aged, because we're going to do, right now, I actually am fine with the prismarine brick and the dark prismarine, but I want to do some texturing of all of that to make it just a little nicer looking. And then obviously we do need to do some lighting up around as well. But all in all, I think it looks super awesome. And do not worry about this backside not having one. Like I said, this is eventually going to be a bridge, so I didn't want to put anything here to clog up that space. So for now, it just gets to be a safe place for us to use a ladder should our lighter break, or should we not get the block swapper and the bubble elevator set up in time. But yeah, that is that, and that is all the time I have for today. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the Lucid server. I'm having such a good time, and I'm feeling so inspired, and just all in all, really, really great. So if you're new or find yourself coming back, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Take care, and I will see you soon.